Hello, Better Day friends and family. It's been a while since I've actually talking to you, so hello, welcome back. First of all, I just want to actually speak to the fact that it has been a while since I've talked to you guys. Originally, when I set out, my goal was to give you something inspirational and to better your lives every single week. That was absolutely my goal. That was absolutely my heart. But as many of you all know, getting on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram every single day is not my full time job. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a nurse, and so much more. And so sometimes I have to put those ministries first. And so, with that being said, I've kind of decided that it's best for me to dial it back some so that number one, I can always fulfill my first ministry and my first jobs, which are the ones I told you about. And then number two, what benefits you guys is make sure that I always give you quality information and a quality program, something that you can actually receive from and know that it's going to actually impart something great into your life. So, with that being said, my goal is to never go longer than 2 or 3 weeks without saying something. There may be weeks that it will be 2 or 3 videos in a week. It may be days or weeks that it'll go every 2 weeks. It may be weekly. But know that whenever I put something out, whenever I put a video out, there's going to be a lot of thought and a lot of prayer in it. And so what you get will be from my heart and it will be of value and hopefully a rich blessing to you. So don't look for me every Monday, but do look for me to always be there to do something to ensure that you're having a better day every day. And with that being said, I want to go right back into what we were talking about last time, and that's hope. So, a few minutes ago, I just said I have a lot of other ministries, and one of them is being a wife. My husband is a coach, loves coaching. You might hear me talk about that all the time. Every now and then, we have 3 sons. 2 of our 3 sons are football players. One is actually a former football player because he's graduated from high school. The other one is a little league football player. But coaching and football and all that kind of stuff and athletics and things of that nature are a common denominator in my household on a regular basis. So this past week we were watching the draft, and so over the course of the few days I'm hearing different things: who got drafted number one, who got drafted number two, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm putting on some makeup and I hear it in the background, and still kind of actually thinking about what I'm going to say to you guys about hope. This was literally going on at the same time, and then I hear an announcer or a commentator make a statement that I didn't know about, because my husband is fairly new to this whole coaching thing as far as something that I would hear on a regular basis in the last maybe 6 or 7 years. So I don't know a lot of football players prior to that time frame. I know who they are now. I know what they've done now. I may not know their story. I may not know how they've gotten there. I just know what I know now. And so I hear this commentator and he begins to speak about Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the quarterback for the New England Patriots, and I knew that. I knew who he was. I'm in fashion, so I knew he was married to Gisele Bundchen and things like that, but I don't know his backstory. And the commentator says that Tom Brady was the 199th pick of the 6th round. I was floored. Now, for those of you that don't understand what that means, let me give you a little understanding. When you're doing the football draft, there's 32 teams in the NFL, and each team has an opportunity to pick one person, and then the next team picks one, and so forth and so on until they've completely gone through. That's one round. And then they go through the process again and they keep going. So each time all of the teams have gone through, that's been considered a round. So Tom Brady was picked in the 6th round. That means all 32 teams have picked somebody 5 times, and we're in our 6th round before somebody picks him up. He's the 199th pick. That basically means we're just getting you, bud. I mean, I'm sure you got something going on. Yeah, we'll get you. We'll put you on the team. We'll do something. He may or may not work out, but no big deal. But yet, you look at this person now, and I want to give you a couple of stats. He's a 5-time Super Bowl champion. He's a 4-time Super Bowl MVP, 3 times the NFL Most Valuable Player, 13 times Pro Bowl, 5 times first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, 2 times NFL Player of the Year. I mean, the list goes On and on. In some areas of football, they consider him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But yet he was picked 199. He was in the sixth round. It looked like he wasn't going to do anything. It looked like he wasn't the best pick. It looked like he was the low man on the totem pole. Now, I'm telling you, you got to have some major hope to sit there and believe in yourself and know who you are as a person to be picked 199th and be going through this and looking at people ahead of you begin to just, sign these $1 million contracts and they're, I'm number one draft pick, woo, whatever. And yet you're 199, but God. But God, I want to speak to this particular scripture, which I'm sure many of you Christianese people know, and it's okay if you don't. But the Bible tells us in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and future." Today, I want to tell you, when you lose hope, I want you to, number one, remember what God says for you. He knows the plans that he has for your life. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what's going on. I also want to remind you, and I want you to remember the Tom Brady's of the world. When I heard that story, I also started thinking back to being in elementary school. You remember you played dodgeball and they'd pick the two captains and somebody would pick somebody and you're like, I don't want to be the last one picked. And usually in real life and on TV, that kid that's always the last one picked also ends up being the one that comes back to the class reunion 25 years later. He's crazy successful. He's a multi-millionaire. He's got a smoking hot wife. Life is good because God knows the plans he has for your life. So I want to tell you, if you are in the sixth round today, if you are the 199th pick, hey, let me tell you, this is something, a little nugget I found out. If you're the very last person picked in the NFL draft, the name that you get is called Mr. Insignificant. If you feel like you are Mr. Insignificant or Miss or Mrs. Insignificant today, I want to tell you those are lies from the enemy. Do not be confused. God has a purpose for you, a purpose and a plan to prosper you and to give you hope. One of the translations says well-being and a welfare for you. So I want you to stir up your hope today. Think about these Tom Brady's in the world. Think about the last kid getting picked in dodgeball or whatever it is. And know that in the end, God will make a way for you. He will do something great for you. He knows his plan for your life. And I don't care what it looks like. It is something great for you. Be patient, continue to have hope, and put your trust in God. I love you guys so much. Know that this message is literally from my heart and also from a place that I'm in right now. I'm still holding on to hope for something specific for my life as well. And I know that God has an amazing plan for me. So I'm not telling you anything that I'm not having to walk out and believe God for myself. I love you guys. Have a great evening and I will talk to you soon. And remember, every day is a chance for a better day.